Good morning, YouTube, and anywhere else in the world. So, this whole Unity situation just got a whole lot worse. For those of you who don't know, and which I would be surprised if you didn't already, Unity has just been an absolute fucking scumbag. Particularly when it comes to developers. Like, they're just charging developers for just simply having their games exist on their engine, and over the past like week or two they've been under a lot of fires. So Upper Echelon, like a day ago, just released a video, said I can't speak. Anyway, the Unity disaster gets worse. As if it wasn't bad enough, it gets 100% worse from here. So I myself haven't really caught up on too many things, but I know the general like gist of it. But I will be sure to link the video down in the comment section below, because I don't want to get fucking in trouble with the masses. So without further ado, let's just get into this.
All right, yesterday I talked about the fall of Unity, and today I'm talking about it again. Why? Because it continues to get much, much worse. The picture continues to change, and because I'm now fascinated by it. Long story short,
I like the metaphor of like just burning your money. I like that, because that's essentially what Unity is doing. They're committing self-seppuku.
watching a company implode like this and scratching my head as to why makes me want to figure it all out. If not for certain, then at least plausible speculation on what the reasons might be, the secret agendas, or the hidden motivations. I'm not going to bore everyone with a lengthy recap of stuff they've already heard, because most people probably understand the gist of it already. However, the crux of the issue is this. Unity Technologies, a video game software company responsible for making the Unity game engine, has recently adjusted their fee structure. On top of
Let's take a look at this. I'm gonna have to up the quality. This is just absolute dog shit. Okay. I apologize if it's a little blurry, but this is the best I can do right now. So, revenue threshold last 12 months, personal and Unity plus 200,000. Okay. Your game must meet both revenue and okay. Yeah, no, that's some fucking bullshit. Unity Pro 1 million, Unity Enterprise 1 million. Okay, makes sense.
flat subscription service, they will now charge game developers
15 cents per install. Jesus. So damn.
per
Okay.
install with retroactive terms of service changes, and that monetization scheme will have a severe negative impact on a great deal of projects.
So this may not seem like much, but this shit adds up. So for sake of argument, we're just going to do 20 cents. I'm just going to start with the least amount of installs, which is 100K. 20 cents times 100,000. That's $20,000 right there. That is not good, even for the minimum amount. Now let's look at the 1 million and 1 plus here. Let's just go to the max. So 0.20 times. Yeah, that's $200,000 per million installs. That is fucking egregious. Imagine if you're an indie company and you're just having to suffer through this.
Going further, they deliberately pulled down their own transparency GitHub repo, tracking changes like this, and reversed a number of commitments from years prior about having the best interests of the community at heart.
Yeah, ain't that a fucking lie?
Since they destroyed the totality of their goodwill, jeopardized a multitude of projects, angered the entire industry top to bottom, and they did all of it for what? More money? Sure.
Yeah, essentially more money. And the thing is, many companies, indie ones especially, they're all moving away from Unity. Most popular like indie games run on Unity. So it's no wonder people are moving to Unreal and other open source engines. I mean, Unity is just kind of fucking themselves in the ass here.
The CEO is an industry paragon of how to squeeze more money from an audience. I discussed that last time, but deeper than that, it seems like there must be something more sinister happening. Avoiding the topics I focused on last time, you can just go watch the prior video if you want to hear about those. Let's take a look at the board of directors. We already know about John Risitiello, however.
There he is. The man himself. Yeah, no. I have a feeling I could see where this is going.
Where you say that, the CEO. He sold a bit of his stock right before this all happened. He was the former CEO at EA Games. He wanted to charge gamers per
Yeah, I heard something about that. So that actually completely explains why he has this whole bullshit viewpoint.
Reload in the heat of the moment when price aversion was lowest, and the industry hates him for good reason. But who's this guy? Tomar Barziv. Credit where credit.
Who the fuck is this? Yeah, I would love to know who this guy is. CEO at Iron Source? Hold up. I want to know what this Iron Source place is. Iron Source Ltd is an Israeli software company that focuses on developing technologies for app monetization and distribution, with its core products focused on the app, parent organization. Oh, so they're actually straight up owned by Unity. Okay, that makes sense. Number of employees 850. Founded 2010. Okay. So, ooh, look at that revenue. That's yeah, no, okay. I can totally see why Unity has them under this whole thing, and that's the exact same dude there. That's crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing. And plus, I mean, if it's an Israeli company, no hate towards Israel and everything, no hate. But if it's an Israeli software company that focuses on all of this bullshit, yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Surely nothing could.
Credit is due. Tugging on this thread is the result of a post on r/unity from a user named Zijit. I'll link to that down below. Tomar Barziv is on the board of directors.
Hold up. I want to see this. Yes, okay, I know people don't want to hear this. You shouldn't be blaming John. I'm probably going to butcher that last name, but Riccitelio. I don't fucking know how to pronounce it, but yes, John is undoubtedly an asshole. Bro, okay. Starting off strong here. Since they don't let you be a CEO unless you are one. That doesn't make sense, but oh well. But he has also been the CEO of Unity since 2014 and oversaw its progress from that engine that lets you port your game to anything to the platform that every single mobile game is made on and the backbone of the indie developer market. Well, first off, he's misspelled indies, so that's just cringe right there. But I'll let him cook. The main reason why so many of you are only hearing about him being the CEO now is because he had, past tense, been doing a relatively good job. What changed in 2020, Unity went public and a bunch of shitheads bought their way into Unity's board of directors. Ultimately, the CEO works for the board, so when these new bosses tell him to do something self-destructive, he does it. Ah. So... Okay. Here are the names you should be talking about instead of John. Barziv. Oh, yeah, Tomer Barziv. Roelof Botha. I apologize severely for butchering these names if I have. Egon Durbin, edit. I forgot to say that they are board members. Oh yeah, I could have guessed instantly. Remember Iron Source, that dog shit monetization company that absolutely everyone in the industry dumped and was circling the drain until Unity bought them for 4.4 billion? When the fuck did this happen? Hold up. Okay. When did Unity buy Iron Source? I didn't even know this company existed until today. Unity first announced its plan to acquire Iron Source in July for 4.4 billion. When was this? November 7th. July 2022. So this was like over a year ago. Damn, okay.
Tomar Barziv is on the board of directors at Unity, but he is also the CEO of a company called Iron Source. Now, Iron Source itself is an important piece of the potential puzzle because Iron Source actually merged in November of 2022 with Unity Technologies. This, at the time, was a $4.4 billion deal. Pretty big.
Jesus Christ.
Surrounding that deal is what matters most. For reference, Iron Source is a company that specializes in mobile game development, monetization, and distribution. Okay.
What the fuck? The driving force behind this industry-changing merger is to create more value for developers across the entire development journey. Tomorrow, stop the cap. Stop the cap, man. Just stop it. We are very excited about the road ahead as we begin integrating our product portfolios more deeply and strengthening the feedback loop between creating great games and growing them into successful businesses. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you, bro, but That's a lie, and you fucking know it. You're not making great games by doing this. You're just making a cash cow and making whales out of your average gamer. That's what you're doing. Any game that prioritizes money over all else is not a good game. It genuinely isn't. I would know because I played Destiny 2 for 6 years.
Okay, so Tomar Bar-Zeev, sitting on the board of directors at Unity Technologies and also CEO of IronSource, is a figure of interest, but it turns out that when you go down the list of Unity insiders who are selling stock in the company, this guy is by far the most aggressive. Over the past year alone, according to Fintel, it appears that Tomar Bar-Zeev has sold upwards of $20 million in
Holy fuck, dude.
Unity stock.
What? Hold on, let me hear that
It
again.
appears that Tomar Bar-Zeev has sold upwards of $20 million in Unity stock.
Jesus Christ. Jesus fuck, man. So this guy's no joke. Like, he knows what he's doing. God damn, okay. Yeah, it's all coming together, I guess.
Which is interesting to say the very least. Now, remember that $4.4 billion merger between Unity Technologies and IronSource? Well, it turns out that deal had a number of, shall we say, complications. First,
oh god, I can see where this is going.
at the same time as this $4.4 billion deal, or merger, was taking place, a company called AppLovin made a competing offer to buy out Unity completely for $20 billion.
Oh yeah, and why the hell would Unity ever deny that?
But Unity rejected this deal, citing that
Oh, never mind.
the deal, quote, would not reasonably be expected to result in a superior proposal, end quote. I find that exceptionally odd on a personal level, given that the comparable market capitalization at the time was significantly below $20 billion.
Wait, hold up. Okay. So, wow. This is 2021. I'm guessing that's okay. So it looks 6 million somewhere around October, maybe November of 2021. That's all-time peak. Look how fucking low that is. I mean, it's still a shit ton of money, but goddamn.
Making this an offer that came with a sizable upside premium. Still, the deal with IronSource would leave Unity in control, while the deal with AppLovin would reduce them to 49% voting rights, so yeah, it's a bit complicated, and they rejected the offer. Anyway.
Yeah, what a surprise that is. I'm sure they wouldn't want their voting rights taken away in the game development industry. Yeah, because they couldn't make money that way.
After rejecting AppLovin, Unity merged with IronSource, and now the CEO of IronSource, Tomar Bar-Zeev, as we've said, sells tens of millions of dollars worth of stock, while the company destroys every shred of community goodwill that it has, but it gets better. During the deal with IronSource, two investment companies, Sequoia Capital and Silver Lake, pledged to come on board with $1 billion invested in the deal itself.
Oh no. Listen, guys, if there's any word of advice I had, if you're going to buy and sell stocks, don't overdo it. I get having a lot of money is useful. I get it. It makes you feel good at the end of the day, but at what point do you draw the line? Just think about that. I know what I would do, but I'm not going to say it.
Honestly, peanuts compared to AppLovin, but when the deal eventually did come through, two more people, one from each of those companies, joined Unity's board of directors, Egon Durbin and Rolaf Botha, these nuts. Starting with Egon...
That was fucking brilliant. Okay, I'll give him that.
On Durbin, he is a founding principal and managing director at Silver Lake, which it now appears, I shit you...
Egon? More like ego. Fuck this guy.
Not, has sold the entirety of their directly held remaining stock in Unity Technologies, disclosed as of yesterday. Also...
Excuse me? Wait, so like 2 days ago? What the fuck? I don't know how to read any of this shit, but I know enough that that is definitely not a good sign.
So, Egg on Durbin, once again, big shout out to Zijit over on Reddit. The connections here are fascinating, and I wouldn't have known about half of them without their post. Egg on Durbin was embroiled in scandal when he advised Elon Musk about the potential to take Tesla private. That was a whole.
Oh, fuck. It just gets worse. Yep, it's all in the title here. I'm not even halfway through, and I'm already flabbergasted. I really hate to be the bearer of bad news, but everyone should know at this point. Doing deals and doing business with Elon is essentially the equivalent of doing business or dealing with the devil. You know, the deal sounds good, but sooner or later you will get fucked over.
Fiasco with a legal quagmire where Elon said he was going to take the company private and then the SEC got involved, etc., etc. But Egon Durbin still has major ties to both Twitter and Musk, as shareholders attempted to oust him and failed in the wake of Musk's infamous takeover.
Yeah, that's no
Well,
surprise
now that
at
we
all.
have Elon Musk in the mix once again, let's double down. Egon Durbin came on board through Silver Lake, but Rolaf Botha came on board with Sequoia Capital. Yeah, Rolaf Botha is part of what's commonly referred to as the PayPal Mafia, alongside.
That's a thing? The PayPal Mafia is a group of former PayPal employees, founders who have since founded Tesla, LinkedIn. Oh my god. Okay. Part of me doesn't even want to use LinkedIn anymore. Just by reading this, Palantir Technologies, interesting. SpaceX, Affirm, Slide, Kiva, YouTube, Yelp, and Yammer. So a lot of these companies I've never even heard of, but they attended Stanford University. Okay.
Elon Musk. The PayPal Mafia, for those that don't know, is a list of former employees and founders at PayPal who have since gone on to create a giant spider web of technology companies. It includes names like Peter Thiel, Chad Hurley, co-founder of YouTube, Yishan Wong, founder of Reddit, and yes, Rolaf Botha, a partner now at Sequoia Capital, sitting on the board of directors at Unity.
Oh,
Get
dear
this.
God.
In October of 2022, Rolaf Botha was predicting success, quote unquote, for Elon Musk at Twitter, stating that his firm, Sequoia Capital, conducted due diligence and the business model
This did not age well. Hold on. This shit right here. Man, I tell you what, that shit aged like milk left out in the sun for 2 or 3 days. Oh my god. How could you be so dumb as to believe something like this? Especially given Elon Musk's like track record of sheer stupidity. I don't know how anyone could do that. Like if you're in any way making a prediction like this, I think you're just a fucking idiot.
stating that his firm, Sequoia Capital, conducted due diligence and the business model can be improved. But let's expand on that comparison. See,
Improved my ass.
Twitter actually made radical changes to their API pricing model not long after Elon's takeover, and those changes are not dissimilar to those of Unity.
I remember
Personally,
this.
I ran up against this when trying to map these huge political bot networks with my team, and now I can't do that because I got locked out of the API.
Yeah, I remember this. I remember going all over the internet and just watching YouTube video after YouTube video, just explaining this bullshit. And I even went on Twitter and saw people complaining about it. Yeah, I remember when this blew up, I remember being pissed off about it, and I actually took a good long break from Twitter for that reason. I'm a little more active on it now, but that's only because I like trolling people and I like speaking my mind on stuff without giving much of a shit about what other people think. But, man, you know.
Based on those changes, and I can't afford to pay thousands of dollars per month to do it. Hosting costs have long been the elephant in the room for tech companies.
That's base, to be fair. That's base.
The more traffic you get, the more expensive it is, and Twitter decided to start ruthlessly charging developers for API requests. That resulted in a lot of applications
Hold the fuck
to
up.
start ruthlessly charging.
Oh my god. Okay, this I didn't know. I didn't know they had like 3 different subscription models. I know they had the tweet limit, but I didn't know that it was like an API thing. I thought it was just an app thing. Jesus fuck. Okay.
developers for API requests. That resulted in a lot of applications being deprecated,
And that's not even just for users, that's for devs, which makes it even scarier.
they just simply couldn't afford the costs being passed down to them in such a way, and the trend is far from over. Reddit, much like Twitter, went down a very similar route, opting to start spontaneously.
Oh boy, I remember every single detail of this. Wasn't there like a million or so subreddits that just shut down because they were unhappy with the whole API change? I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I might be off with the numbers here, but yeah, I remember like there was a lot of subreddits that just said, "Oh, you want to change the API? All right, fuck you. We're all we finna leave. Like, I am a head out type shit, you know?" Yeah, no, that was a bad time. Um, I really hope Reddit is recovering from that. I haven't been on there in a while, so I wouldn't know.
Charging for API usage, and Reddit CEO Steve Huffman is on record praising Elon Musk's new monetization tactics for Twitter as a platform,
Oh my god.
explicitly saying that their conversations had been inspiring for him. Flash forward today, and we now see Unity opting to continue that very same trend. Logistically, protecting game developers from bad actors will now be completely impossible, because every time you spin up a virtual machine, it's a brand new install, right?
It's like ransomware, dude. It's like Unity is essentially being the equivalent of some dumb fuck on the internet who hacks into your account, hacks into your PC, steals all your info, and then demands that you pay like tens of thousands of dollars, maybe even hundreds of thousands, just to get your info and your stuff back. That's essentially what Unity is doing. Except it's more, I guess, kind of more in a legal sense. Like they're they have more of a chance of getting off scot-free with this. Because it's not technically, to my knowledge, to my understanding anyway, it's not technically classified as like ransomware or anything, or stealing or anything like that. I don't know. I don't know, really know how the law works here, but that's my basic understanding of it. But Unity is essentially just like saying, hey, they're doing what many other game developers are doing now and have been doing for like almost 10 years at this point. They're just cutting out features and then selling them back to you at an even higher price than's warranted. Some things never change, and apparently that's also extending to game engines as well. And that leaves me personally really scared for the future, because I'm worried that this practice is going to spread to many other different open source media and shit, which I really hope does not happen.
Right? And they have no way to differentiate that, and you could easily target developers if you wanted to.
Because I do want to get into game development one day, but man, the more I hear about this, the less I'm inclined to pursue that career path. I'm gonna be honest.
But focusing on the casual mobile game market, remember, Unity accepted an Iron Source merger at $4.4 billion instead of a merger with AppLovin, valued at $20 billion. Focusing on the casual mobile market, we see this right here. Unity is offering a runtime fee waiver if you switch to Level Play, as it tries to kill AppLovin.
Oh.
Would you look at that? Level Play is a service from Iron Source. Here's a
what a fucking surprise. Who would have thought? Ain't that something?
Much better visualization of what's actually happening from a user named Sososki on Twitter. The yellow indicates the portion of developers who will now lose between
What's that fucking Candy Crush at the bottom?
Sososki on Twitter. The yellow indicates the portion.
But no, it wasn't. But it was something similar to that. Jeez, okay.
Of developers who will now lose between
mobile games, 100% worth it.
10 and 25% of their revenue with Unity's new terms of service. The orange, they stand to lose between 25 and 50% of their revenue. Red can lose between 50 and 100%. And that scary black line off to the left, not huge, but it is there. That's the area where these new terms will bankrupt your company, because Unity decided to charge you more money per install than your app is even making. We're mostly talking about small-scale free mobile applications and games, but even if I have my gripes with the mobile game market, those people still have jobs and deserve fair treatment. Let's go
Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna make any money off of a free mobile game if you don't have in-app purchases and you don't have people downloading your game, making those purchases in your game, getting an advantage in their playthroughs over other players and on their bases and whatever kind of stuff the game has to offer. And if you don't have that, then I mean, hell, even if you do have that to your max potential, this is just gonna swindle you out of your fucking money. And like Upper Echelon Gamer says, it's just gonna bankrupt your ass. All because Unity decided they wanted to. All because they could.
big picture here. Unity is being raked over the coals, rightly so, for their decision to implement aggressive pricing on their customer base.
Mm-hmm.
That decision emulates a pattern that began with Twitter, was mirrored by Reddit, and is now making its way through the broader markets. The decision itself appears to be aimed at killing a competing service after Unity actually rejected a buyout offer from that service's owner in favor of a merger with ironSource, who stands to gain the most from this entire controversy. Meanwhile, the CEO of ironSource and the directors who came on board through Sequoia Capital and Silver Lake during the deal relentlessly dump their stock in Unity, standing to gain massively as the business gets funneled into level play.
I don't know how to feel about that. I was gonna make a comparison to like NFTs here, but honestly, NFTs and Unity are not even on the same level, so I'm not even gonna go there. But in terms of stupidity and just downright degeneracy, I think it's right up there.
Vouchers, that's the key. Anecdotes are beginning to surface right now more and more where developers are being offered runtime fee waivers to switch
ironSource
over.
Is the reason. Haven't really seen this mentioned. This is by here. Okay. Haven't really seen this mentioned here yet. I work for a studio in the hyper casual mobile games market. We were obviously quite concerned about the pricing announcement as it appears to specifically kill our business model. Our Unity rep is telling us, no, don't worry, you'll receive credits so it'll cover 100% of installs because you use ironSource's ad provider. With that revelation, suddenly this all seems to make more sense. I don't think it's about generating revenue through the fees. It's about forcing all mobile studios to use Unity. So 99% to use ironSource if they want to continue business. That's egregious. I know that's absolutely egregious.
And some are being told that their fees will be covered with credits because they already use ironSource as their ad provider. The golden goose here is ironSource, and the gaming developers being affected are just casualties of a hidden agenda. Thankfully, there are still ways for developers to fight back. As an example, there was recently a collective letter from game companies announcing that they will be turning off Unity and ironSource ad monetization in retaliation, which is
good for them. That's exactly what I would do in this situation. And I'm actually impressed with how unified the internet and the gaming community as a whole seems to be over this. Like, I hardly see anyone defending these assholes, which I love to see.
It's probably the single most effective action they can possibly take. This entire move appears to be designed as a funnel to steal market share from AppLovin through insanely damaging policy shifts, but when the advertising revenue starts to take a hit, companies do actually take notice. There's some
oh yeah, they'll take notice once you try to fuck them over. As soon as you interfere with the bottom line, that's when you have an issue. It's like, this is gonna sound cheesy, but you know that quote from A Bug's Life, all the way back in the early 2000s, back in the day. Remember Hopper, that guy, where he's like, you let one ant stand up to us, then all of them might stand up. That's essentially what's happening here. You let one company stand up against you, and they might all eventually rise up. Unity are the grasshoppers in this situation, and game devs are the ants.
Big names backing this letter: Azure, Voodoo, Century Games, etc. As the dust settles and the real targets become clear, reality continues to dawn that Unity may have just completely killed their own business entirely. Mm-hmm. They could turn back, I guess, but no one will ever trust them again, period. They could stay.
They could reverse all of the decisions they've made regarding this whole fiasco, and it wouldn't matter. They've already destroyed their goodwill, and they're likely never going to get it back. Chances are they're just going to stay in this reputation until the end of time, which it's fucking sad.
Stay the course and maybe funnel a fair number of projects into level play over at ironSource, which appears to be the actual goal. But how high is the cost of that action? Casual mobile gaming might be the future of the industry from a raw numbers perspective. It might be the largest vertical out there even in terms of player count, but it's not the only one. And taking the type of reputational hit that they have already taken doesn't exactly seem worth it to me. Who knows? Twitter did something vaguely similar right off the bat and never looked back. Reddit hopped on board soon after, and maybe Unity is just third in line for the new industry norm, trailblazing as they go, but somehow this one seems a bit different. The anger seems more physical.
I think this one is different because so many people are involved with it. With Twitter and Reddit, you don't really develop your own stuff. You more so just make posts and post selfies and memes, and that's about it. With Unity, on the other hand, it's much more hands-on. So you have a lot more, or at least the idea was that you have a lot more freedom to express your creativity through game development. You're able to express your creativity in many of these different engines, and Unity was supposed to do the same. But so the reason I think that everyone is so pissed off about it, once again, is because it's such a big part of gaming, and gaming culture is like a worldwide phenomenon now. Compared to like 20 years ago, it's something that a lot of people are into all over the world. It's practically the norm. So whenever you see this kind of shit happening, then it all goes downhill, especially for these companies, because gaming is such a huge part of societies across the world now, that it's really not easy for, I want to say, like your average gamer to let this slide.
Even. And the consequences are ramping up fast. Final example here, it seems pertinent to back up what I'm saying for this part. Unity decided to close 2 of its offices in mid-September after, quote, credible threats, unquote, but those threats were made by their own employee. The company is being ripped apart at the seams, and honestly, I'm not sad to see it. Sure, the threats are overkill, there's no place for that, obviously.
Let's see. On September 14th, 2023, at approximately 9:30 a.m., San Francisco police officers assigned to Central Station responded to the unit block of 3rd Street regarding a threats incident. When officers arrived on scene, they met with a reporting party who informed them that an employee made a threat towards his employer using social media. The reporting party also said that the employee works out at an out-of-state location for the company, but that they had been unable to reach the outside jurisdiction to make a report. The reporting party was advised, okay.
But it demonstrates that we've crossed a line between typical outrage, or online grumbling, as some people call it, and actual consequences for their actions. All in all...
Yeah, no, this isn't about just simply getting upset. This is people's livelihoods and careers at stake. That's what makes this such an important event.
When I made the video yesterday, I didn't think it could get much worse. I figured the situation would die down, if anything, but no, it has not. Decidedly has not. The agendas and motives in play here are fascinating, whatever they ultimately might be, and I really wanted to talk about it. That's it. Links are down below to support. Please consider Patreon, locals, or channel memberships. AdSense is extremely unreliable these days, and as I get back into the full swing of much more frequent content generation, it's just a helpful thing for me to have. There's more, like a cybersecurity product affiliate list, social media, etc., but I'll cut it there and stop rambling. As always, thank you all for watching, and have a nice night.
Yeah, I think that was a really great video. Yeah, we're gonna give that a like, and I need to subscribe to this guy on my account. Put all there. Let's see some of the comments here. At least one good thing has come out of this. Gamers in the industry are actually united for once. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. It's astonishing how much the gaming community can unite as one, under one banner, if you will, whenever they're pushed this much. I haven't seen a type of unified response to this since the Battlefront 2 loot box fiasco. This shit doesn't happen often, but once it does, it is monumental. This is John Riccatelio as the CEO, so even if it isn't his fault, it is still his responsibility. Yeah, exactly. As the CEO, ultimately, you're responsible for everything the company goes through, good and bad. And you're responsible for all of the backlash as well. It's kind of funny how united the backlash is. I like the pun there. I haven't seen a single positive story about this. They managed to get literally everyone to hate them. Yeah, exactly. Literally everyone fucking hates them. When you manage to get the entire gaming atmosphere to hate your fucking guts, that's how you know you messed up. If this doesn't trigger a major SEC investigation, there's no hope left for the regulation in the US. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, honestly, at this point, I really, truly hope that Unity just shuts down and goes bankrupt at this point. Yeah, so if you guys can do Upper Echelon just a huge favor, give this guy a follow on all of his socials. Check out his merch and just show the guy some love, because he really is helping out a lot of people. He really is helping people understand like the gist of what's happening here. So I definitely recommend it, and it's only got 15,000 likes, so maybe we can fix that. So if you guys like this kind of content for me, just let me know. And be sure to follow me on Twitter. I'll put that in my description as well. See you guys on the flip side.